Hello supply chain friends. Recently I posted a poll on LinkedIn where I asked the question, what is your biggest career challenge in 2025? And a whopping 63% of the respondents did say that finding a new job is their biggest challenge. Followed by things like getting promoted on my current job, adapting to new industry trends, and so on. And this is totally understandable because no matter which part of the world you are in right now, there are a lot of fresh graduates, there are a lot of people who have lost their jobs because just how the global economic situation is turning out 3 years or 4 years after the pandemic, because globally a lot of countries have increased interest rates, which is basically having a negative impact on employment and so on. So the response was pretty overwhelming, but not surprising at all to me. So since a lot of you are in this job search mode, I'll be making a series of video, including this one, where I'll cover in some of the major markets in the world like Canada, US, and so on, the best supply chain companies to work for. And in this video, we will cover that topic for Canada. My name is Jamil Hai, and I've been working in supply chain management positions across South Asia, Middle East, and North America for the last 2 decades. And my mission is to help supply chain professionals like you build real life skills for your job and career that they don't teach you in college. And if you are preparing for a supply chain job interview anytime soon, you should definitely book a session with me, because I'm going to take your resume, the job description you're applying for, and based on a combination of those two and my 2 decades of experience, will give you some laser guided tips and tricks which will maximize your chances of success. So go ahead now, book your session, and let's find out who are the best companies to work for in supply chain in Canada. So before I share with you the list of the companies, I want to share with you the source of my information and how I have picked up these organizations. My job was actually made very easy because every single year the Globe and Mail, which is one of the leading news publications in Canada, publishes a report which is called Canada's Top 100 Employers. And they have been doing this now for almost, I think, about 25 years. So every year they do this research very methodically, where they look at a number of different areas based on which they pick up these companies which make it to the top 100 list. Now, let's look at what are the different factors they consider. So they would look at things like the workplace culture, the overall atmosphere of the company, what are the different health and financial benefits they offer to their employees. And you will see, as we'll go through the list, I'll kind of touch on some of the key benefits these organizations offer. A lot of the benefits are around health, paternity leaves, maternity leaves, and so on. They also look at things like the vacation time off, employee communications, performance management of the company. Of course, if a company is not making profit or it's not growing, then it's very hard for it to be a best place to work for, whether it's supply chain or any other industry. And they also look at the training and skills development program. How much do these companies invest in their employees, which is an extremely engaging and important aspect if you are working for an organization. And then finally, they also look at how much this company is involved in the community service, or in other words, what are their corporate social responsibility initiatives going on, how much they are investing into the communities where they are based. So basically, the idea is that these companies should not be just about making profit, but also returning back to the society. Now, keep in mind, not all of these 100 companies are linked to supply chain. Of course, the list includes banks, financial institutions, government organizations as well. So I have filtered out 28 companies from this list which are linked to supply chain in some shape or form, and that can provide you a very good list as you are starting your job search as well. And I've divided those 28 companies into 5 different industries, which you can see on your screen, which is basically pharmaceutical and medical, a huge industry in Canada. Canada has a lot of retirees, lots of hospitals. So pharma and medical care is huge here. The other big industry where these companies fall into is industrial and automotive. Canada has got a lot of manufacturing, especially of cars, and that is why a lot of Canadian companies are worried because of Donald Trump's tariffs. Because a 25% tariff is threatening immediately means that, let's say, if Toyota is making a RAV4 in Cambridge, and they are exporting it to the US, suddenly that RAV4 will become 25% more expensive when it goes down to the US, right? So automotive is huge in Canada as well. And then the third industry where I've bucketed these companies into is consumer goods, which is my favorite industry because I've spent the majority of my career in the consumer goods supply chain. And then we also have oil and gas, once again, huge industry in Canada, especially in the Alberta and the western region, because there's a lot of oil sands, a lot of oil exploration, transportation, and pipelines over there. And then finally, I've also included companies from the retail and transportation industry because they are also very much linked to supply chain. So let's start with the pharmaceutical and medical industry. And the first company here, which is on the top 100 list, is AstraZeneca. Of course, the name might ring a bell with you if you have taken a vaccine during the COVID period. AstraZeneca was definitely one of the bigger players in the COVID vaccine industry at the time, along with Pfizer and Moderna. I think in some parts of the world, AstraZeneca vaccines were also called Covishield. I think in India, they were using that brand name. So AstraZeneca has their Canadian office in Mississauga. They offer about $500 to any employees who are doing volunteering work for about 40 hours. Another pharmaceutical company which is on this list is Novo Nordisk Canada, which is based once again in Mississauga. Lots of companies in Mississauga. And they give about 100% salary for up to 21 weeks if you are becoming a parent, which is fantastic. We also have Roche Canada on the list, again, based in Mississauga. So Mississauga, by the way, is a lot of people consider Mississauga as one of the neighborhoods of Toronto. But the fact of the matter is that Mississauga itself is, I think, the 5th largest city in Canada on its own. If I'm wrong on this, please feel free to correct myself in comments. I think Mississauga as a city is bigger than Regina and Winnipeg as well. So it's a city on its own, it's huge, and lots of warehouses, lots of companies, as you can see on the list here. So Roche Canada provides attractive financial benefits, including defined contribution pension plan, generous year-end bonuses, and so on. The next company on the pharmaceutical list is Medtronic Canada. This time it's based in Brampton, which is not very far from Mississauga. And they offer a unique summer work hours program that lets employees bank extra hours and enjoy additional time off during the summer months. And the last company on the pharmaceutical and medical list, which is one of the best employers to work in Canada, is Stryker Canada. They are based in Waterdown, Ontario, and they encourage their employees to become recruiters for the firm with generous new employee referral bonuses up to about $2,000 for every successful hire. So, which is a very cool thing because it allows you as an employee to become a talent ambassador for your company, and you get some cool benefits for that. The next industry where we have got some excellent supply chain companies to work for is industrial and automotive. And the first company I want to talk about here is Toyota, who are based in Cambridge, Ontario. I had an opportunity to visit the Toyota plant. I actually was taking my kids to see that operation, and it's fantastic. I loved it. My kids loved it as well. And as we know in supply chain, Toyota is the pioneer of lean manufacturing. They have invented concepts like the Toyota production system, Kanban, and all of these concepts that we learned in lean manufacturing were originally born in Toyota, and now, of course, a lot of companies around the world in different industries have adapted them. So Toyota is a fantastic company to work for as well. That's why they have made it to the top 100 list. Their employees enjoy a range of on-site amenities, including a fully equipped fitness facility, outdoor basketball court, walking trails, and even a community garden, which is fantastic. The next company on the automotive list is Ford, Toyota's competitor. Another fantastic company. I've never visited their Ford plant in Oakville, which I'm actually talking about here, but I did visit in summer as well the Ford main headquarters in Detroit, where they manufacture the F-150. Another fantastic visit, another great company to work for if you want to be in the manufacturing supply chain space. And Ford in Canada offers salary for 26 weeks if you are taking care of a loved one, which is a very sweet benefit, I would say, especially if you have aging parents and things like that. The next company on the list is BASF Canada. BASF is a chemicals manufacturing company based in Mississauga, and they offer international assignments to their employees. The next company on this list, and my apologies, I'm 100% sure I'm not pronouncing this correctly, is Michelin North America. I think in French, the pronunciation is more sophisticated, but I'm not even going to try. But we all know this company for its fantastic quality of tires. I think if you are a car enthusiast, you would definitely know about this company because they make one of the best tires in the world. And in Canada, they are based in Nova Scotia. They host summer picnics for their employees, movie nights, holiday celebrations, and a variety of outings for employees and their families. The next company on the industrial and automotive list is UAP Incorporated, based in Montreal. They make motor vehicle supplies and new parts, and they introduced a unique disconnecting from work policy, which really sounds lovely, that reminds all employees to disengage from work during off hours and on weekends. I think that's a very, very good benefit because sometimes when the weekend starts, the hours of the weekend start, but you're mentally still in the job. So this is a very good and sweet benefit that this company offers to its employees. The next company on this list is Nutrien Limited. They are based in Saskatoon. They are in the phosphate, nitrogen, and potash fertilizer manufacturing, and they help their employees connect through a wide range of social gatherings, from winter skating parties and summer basketball to Christmas parties for employees and their families. Now let's move to the consumer goods industry, and the first company I want to talk about proudly is my own company, Mars Incorporated, which a lot of you probably already know. We make the best chocolates in the world. We make the best pet food in the world. In Canada, we are mainly based out of the Bolton location. And one of the key benefits, along with other things Mars offers its associates, is we start with 3 weeks of paid vacation, even if you're a new employee, and it offers up to 5 additional days between Christmas and New Year's holidays. So definitely Mars is an excellent place to work for. The next company on this list is my previous company, which is Procter & Gamble. I owe a lot to P&G because I actually started my supply chain career there. I had zero idea of what supply chain was when I joined them as a fresh graduate. So all my supply chain fundamental knowledge was built at P&G in a different region though. So P&G is huge in Canada as well. They are based out of Toronto. So they of course make a lot of products, right? Whether it's diapers or shampoos or Gillette, they are one of the largest consumer goods manufacturing company in the world. And in Canada, they allow their employees to work from anywhere in Canada for up to 3 months annually, or worldwide for up to 20 days per year, which is pretty cool if you have some international obligations, your family is traveling and those kind of things. So these kind of benefits really matter when you are in those situations. The next company on this list is Danone. Canada, Danone, of course, is a huge player in the dairy industry, and they do a lot of other manufacturing activities too. They are based in Quebec in Canada, and they offer maternal and paternal leave up to 26 weeks, which is pretty cool. The next company on this list is Henkel Canada, which is based in Mississauga. Henkel, of course, is very well known for its fabric and home care and detergent business, amongst other things. And they offer their employees to work for up to 30 days in another country, which is pretty cool. The next company on this list is curated drpepper Canada. And they are based out of Montreal, and they offer a phased back to work policy if you just became a parent. So again, a benefit related to maternity and paternity leaves and policies. The next company on the consumer goods list is L'Oreal Canada. So they are based out of Montreal. They offer 100% maternity salary coverage for up to 18 weeks, which is once again pretty cool. And then we have Mondelez Canada. Also, they make a lot of snacks and chocolates as well. They encourage their employees to support their local community with paid volunteering time, offering additional time as needed. Then we have Nestlé Canada. Nestlé, once again, is a huge consumer goods company. Once again, like P&G, one of the largest consumer goods companies in the world. And they are based in Toronto. They offer their employees discounts on a wide variety of products from their company store, from coffee to chocolates and so on. And then we have got Samsung Electronics. Samsung is very well known in the electronics industry, of course. Their Canadian offices in Mississauga. And they offer all new employees with 4.2 weeks of paid vacation moving to a maximum of 6 weeks. The last one on this list is Saputo Incorporated, which if you do groceries in Canada, you will definitely know this name because they are into a lot of consumer products like cheese, dairy, oil, and so on. They are focused on charitable activities and physical activities and healthy nutrition in the communities where they operate. And employees are encouraged to volunteer with 1 paid day annually. Now we move to the oil and gas industry, and the first company on this list is a very well-known name, Shell Canada, and they are based in Calgary, of course, and they offer up to 5 days of emergency backup childcare services annually through their corporate partnership with Kids and Company. Another company on this list is Emera Incorporated. They are based in Halifax, and they offer 80% salary for 16 weeks to parents. And then last company, which made it to the top 100 list for best employers, also linked to supply chain, is Irving Oil. They are based in New Brunswick, and they offer child scholarship for $2,000 per kid annually, which is pretty cool. Finally, let's move to the last industry, which is retail and transportation. Now, retail and transportation are slightly different, but I kind of lumped them together because there is only one transportation company that made its way to the top 100 in Canada. But let's talk about the first retail company, which is the Loblaw company based in Brampton. And Loblaw is, by the way, not just the Loblaw stores, their flagship stores, but they also own a number of other chains as well, like the Real Canadian Superstore and the President Choice stores as well. They have a loyalty program. They also make their own private label products. And then No Frills also is a huge part of their network. The Loblaw Group, by the way, has about 29% market share of the Canadian grocery chain. So it's massive. And they are also a very good employer to work for as per this list. They do offer personalized learning dashboards for their employees. Another retail giant, which is also one of the best 100 companies in Canada to work for, and these are linked to supply chain too, which is Sobeys Incorporated. Now, Sobeys, once again, is not just the Sobeys stores. They also own, I think, the Best Buy chains in Canada. They also do own the Freshco brand, which is another chain of grocery stores. They also, by the way, Freshco, for those of you who are from South Asia, might know that Freshco also has a South Asian version called Chalo Freshco, which has got some stores in areas like Brampton, Mississauga, and so on. And Sobeys also helps their employees plan ahead with retirement planning assistance services, along with a defined contribution pension plan, which is a very rare pension plan, by the way. Now, not a lot of companies offer it anymore. I was actually surprised when I was doing this research and I came across that Sobeys still has the defined contribution plan, which is pretty amazing. The last company in this bucket is the only transportation company, as I mentioned, which is Seaspan ULC, based in North Vancouver. They are a freight transportation arrangement company. They do encourage their employees to become recruiters for the firm with generous new employee referral bonuses from $1,000 to $1,500 depending on the position. So I hope you found this video helpful, especially if you are in that job hunting mode, because this will give you a very good idea to identify who are the best employers or the best companies to work in Canada, and then you can see if they have some job opportunities in supply chain, and you can definitely go and apply there. I've also made videos on topics like the highest paying supply chain jobs in Canada and the US, which you can watch by clicking on the links over here. Keep watching.